So at about 8 o'clock this morning, we put up on our Facebook page a picture of a new sculpture which is being planned for the centre of Norwich. It's going to be between the cathedral and the law courts. And we've invited you to have a look at it. It's a computer-generated image of what it will look like when it's in place. Derek Morris is a trustee of the sculpture for a Norwich charity, and he's here in the studio. Morning, Derek. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, hello.
It's a bit of contemporary art, isn't it? Now,
yes.
I've been very careful not to talk too much about it because you're the man behind it. And for those who haven't seen it on the Facebook page, just in a few sentences, what does it look like? What is it?
Well, it's quite a large structure. We're planning to put it on St Martin and Palace Plain to celebrate the Norwich School of Artists, who are very famous in the world of art for their revolutionary approach to landscape painting at the beginning of the 19th century, and it's to be placed outside Cotman House, where John Sell Cotman, who was one of the artists, lived for 10 years at the beginning of the 19th century. It's a large structure which will represent a panel as like a painting would be, but on a very large scale. It's 7 meters long by 5 meters high, made of glass. Embedded into the glass will be imagery from both the Norfolk landscape and also from some of the paintings. Very difficult to describe, also very difficult to show on a CGI, a computer-generated image, what it will really look like. People have said it looks a bit like a greenhouse or a bus shelter, and if the structure may be a bit like that, but the actual imagery and the look of it will be quite different. It'll be very beautiful, soft, hazy, greyish colour, and the surface will also be very slightly mirrored. So when you stand looking at it, not only will you see the imagery, but you will see yourself reflected in it too. So it's a kind of way of connecting with this whole idea of landscape.
Well, to me, it looks like a pair of glass terraced houses with the doorways cut out.
There has been some criticism of it appearing to be a bit like another building on the plain, but this is purposeful in a way, because the artist Mariele Neudecker has based the proportions of it on the proportions of Cotman House. So the window scale of, as in all 18th century houses, of biggest at the bottom, then medium, then small. The panels do the same, and proportionally she's been very careful to try and make it, if you like, fit into the space.
So when you come up with a piece of contemporary art like this, what sort of a response do you expect from people?
Oh, very mixed, of course. We've already shown models of a model of it in the forum last year. Some people were very excited at the prospect, others were appalled, as you would imagine. We also had an exhibition of an earlier version of this, which was a big, almost like a building, and there was disbelief and horror at that. We felt the same too, and so the whole thing has morphed and changed into something quite different. But of course we expect people to wonder what on earth it is and what it's for.
You mentioned that some have said it looks like a greenhouse. We put it on Facebook earlier on. Robert has been in touch. He says, I wonder how many tomato plants we could get in there. Those are the sort of comments you will have heard before.
You do expect that sort of comment. But the problem with it, of course, is it's so difficult when you're planning a large piece like this. I don't know what it'll look like, let alone the chap who's thinking of it as a greenhouse.
But you're excited by it, aren't you?
I'm really excited by it. I think this is a very important initiative for Norwich.
Why is it important?
Well, culturally it's important because it's we're celebrating part of the cultural heritage of Norwich, which is the painting thing. It's also exciting and important because works of public art have a very profound effect on areas. If you think of the Angel of the North, which is the one that's always quoted, of course, it was universally reviled by everybody before it was put up. And of course, once it was up, everybody started to say, wow, this is something really special.
So wait until you see it. Just a couple more questions if we can. £120,000 it'll cost.
Well, that's just a ballpark.
Who's paying for it?
It won't be paid for by any public money. It will be coming from, we shall be applying to arts charities Heritage Lottery Fund and also Henry Moore Foundation. There are several of them who support this kind of thing.
And we've I don't know whether this is Jackie pitching for some work, but she's already wants to know whether a window cleaner will get the job of cleaning it.
Well, we have to work out a very careful plan of maintenance with the city council. I mean, part of the planning remit is that all those bases are covered. So if it's costly to clean it, then there will be money available, which we will have set up as a
to do that
kind of thing.
When will it be up? Do you hope?
It's going to be another 18 months at least, right. I think, because it's going to take a while. The final form of it is not decided yet. We're still in discussion with the planners about it. We've got to go through planning permission, and then we've got a fundraise. So there's a while yet before
we'll talk again. But it's very,
yes,
you know it'll get people talking. Thanks for coming in to explain it to us.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you.
It's on our Facebook page if you want to see it. Derek Morris from the Sculpture for Norwich charity. Now, just before we